I was able to watch Scottie Scheffler's round. Just him. Just him with Harmon and I forget who else.
Was it Hubs?
Nope. Wyndham, right?
Yes, Wyndham Clark. Yeah, they were in there. And this is just following the morning in which he got arrested and had an orange jumpsuit on already for the mugshot. I got arrested for public intoxication. They did not put an orange jumpsuit on me. I was in the back of a paddy wagon, of course, and I got the whole treatment, the processing, sitting in the thing. They put this orange jumpsuit on immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, welcome to jail. Out of it. In this
sweet V-neck.
Why couldn't you get his whole head in the frame? Every picture I've seen, they've cut the top of his head.
I saw one that had the full one.
Okay, so there is a full one because I'd be worried about them. Whoever's taking their picture, hey, we can't even get their full head in the picture.
So first, that's why I thought it was fake too. Like Golf Digest was the one that tweeted it, and I actually, after learning of the whole situation, because obviously we were off, and it was like the topic of conversation for everywhere. It was on the morning national news. I mean, it was. Yeah. It was absolutely everywhere. When that photo hits the internet, I think to myself, that can't be real because the head was chopped off. I assume what happened here, and I might be wrong, but it's like somebody in the jail has access to that and takes a, right?
Yeah. Screenshot of the,
That's like the official release, you know, because how quickly it was up.
Yeah.
How quickly he was in the orange jumpsuit. That was like mind blowing.
That was fake.
Me too.
Everybody
should have played in it. Should have played that day in that.
Oh man, that would have been so cool.
If he would have wore like a Ricky Fowler Puma, you know, like a Ricky Fowler Puma orange, that would have been awesome. That would have been enjoyable. But instead, we thought that was going to be the story, that Scottie Scheffler was going to use his form of the Mamba mentality. His form of locking out the noise. What's the noise? Getting locked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Jail time. Actually, we go on to say that did some stretching in a jail cell this morning. That was a first for me. Yeah. A first for me. Once I kind of started knowing things were going to go a certain way, I started lubricating myself up. The other people that were in the jail obviously had some situations. You know, there was a kid next to me that was in a drunk tank, and he actually got arrested at the golf tournament the night before. And he was actually following my group the whole time. So he got so intoxicated following me yesterday that he got arrested, is in the drunk tank, and then he woke up next to me. You should have seen him. That kid lost his shit. He still thinks he's on LSD, but instead I told him, no, this is Scottie Scheffler. And then I did some calf raises, some hamstrings, and some twisties, and that guy actually helped me out. So I'd like to give him a shout out. And then I would go on to shoot 5 under. Okay, immediately afterwards. So I thought that was going to be the story. Had to be. That was going to be the story. But then you start watching these guys golf. Everything that we were told to by the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
DB. From the Tour Junkies. Now, who he picked to win, completely wrong.
Yes.
Okay, completely wrong. DeChambeau, we talked about him a little bit because he could hit it far. But these dudes were attacking the green. I mean, it was fun to watch. Putts were falling. Anytime you're near 21 under, 20 under for the winner, obviously there's a lot of action. But Hovland got hot. Rory had a time where he was supposed to go. DeChambeau obviously was going to win that thing. If that goes to extra playoff holes, I think everybody's thinking. And then Xander Schauffele somehow, with Morikawa in his group having a little bit of a day, a little bit of a struggle, can't make a birdie. Can't do it, but he's still in it, hanging in there. Rory McIlroy posted, it's like Xander, for his first major win, had to play great golf, and it was entertaining all around him. Feels like the major lived up to the hype, and that's on 18 there. Yeah, you have to make it.
He could have easily sculled that right into the wall. Like, that one could have gone very, very poorly.
What a win for this dude for his first major, though. He had to be an absolute dog, and he was on a Sunday, knowing that he had to be. And that was kind of the conversation. I assume he felt as if the weight of the world was lifted off his shoulders when that ball went around and around and then inevitably fell down, and he's a major champion. Scottie Scheffler is in jail the morning of Friday of a major championship as he's outside of the golf course. Obviously, there's a misunderstanding with the police. Everybody's thinking that all charges are going to be dropped. We all assume that is the case. But, hey, we have no idea what is going to end up happening. And, you know, whenever humans and potential, I'm not going to say it. Don't say it.
You can say it. Just we're all thinking it.
Say
it's
it.
part of it.
Egos get involved, and I'm not saying it's everybody has this particular issue in any profession at all, but humans have made decisions before that aren't stupid, but we're all assuming that all these charges are going to get dropped. But what a wild start to a Friday for Scottie Scheffler and for the major as a whole. What are you guys thinking as this is all taking place, breaking down what you're going to say, how you're going to handle it, and what is the golf world saying about all of this right now?
You're not expecting breaking news when you wake up on like a Friday morning.
Hey, real quick. This cop says he's going to jail, and there ain't shit you can do about it. To Jeff Darlington. That is literally the quote right there. And then Jeff Darlington goes, "I'm media." He goes, "Oh, okay, all right." Did not care. This guy, I bet this guy card game awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Right here. Just would like to let that be known.
In this scene, however.
But the whole situation, this whole situation, wild. And you're right. I'm sorry. Couldn't even expect that.
Oh, good. I mean, I woke up and, I'm taking care of dad duties in the morning, and I had to run to my wife. I was like, all right, I need some help here. I'm about to tell you something. It's golf related. I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock you, and you're not going to believe what I have to say. But Scottie Scheffler's in jail right now, and I've got to get to work like immediately, right? And if you'd have given me a draft of like, hey, there's 156 guys in this field, like, hey, somebody is in the slammer right now. Somebody is like literally not going to maybe make their tee time. I might have gotten to 150 in that draft before I would have taken Scottie Scheffler being the one that this would happen to. So it honestly took me like 10, 15 minutes to understand exactly what was happening and how shocking it was. And it was kind of also amazing just to see. I mean, I'm in my own little niche golf world. Like, not all golf stories expand out the way this one did. I mean, this made just beyond sports news. This was in mainstream news cycles Friday morning of the PGA Championship.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, he went out and shot a 66 afterward, but, he was kind of running on adrenaline, and we all said it Friday night. It was like, tomorrow's the day, man. I mean, after, kind of getting a little bit of time for it to sink in what happened. I mean, he was hit with a felony charge. I don't know if that's the right nomenclature to be using, but I mean, it's pretty serious charges that were out there against him. Like, you get a chance to sleep on it and kind of download everything from that day. And it clearly affected him Saturday. He did his best not to make excuses about it. But I mean, I think we look back at this championship. He's had one of the most incredible starts to a season ever. There was a legitimate chance that he could win the Grand Slam this year. Plus, he won the Players' Championship this year. It was it's a true shocker that this happened, and it would have taken a massive weekend for him to match Xander Schauffele's 21 under par, but it was possible. And yeah, it threw a huge wrench in this weekend's PGA Championship.
Yeah, and through 3 or 4 holes, he bogeyed, double, whatever it was on Saturday, which kind of holds him back for Sunday, which we're all incredibly bummed out about. But when you think about him saying in the press conference afterwards, he was like, I don't want to talk about the situation, just want to talk about golf. And then every time they asked about the situation, he gave a little bit more. He gave a little bit more, gave a little bit more. And then he talked about I actually started stretching in the jail cell. So that's a first, obviously, to get ready to play today. I would have thought Friday, you said that on Friday, you guys thought Saturday was going to be the day where he kind of lets down because of the adrenaline dump and all that type of thing. I just feel like he's a robot. I just feel like he's a machine. That is literally how I view Scottie Scheffler. So when he gets that bogey and then a double bogey, it's like, is this guy broken all of a sudden? And then immediately comes back on Sunday and shoots a 6 under or whatever. It's like, we should still look for Scottie Scheffler to maintain his dominance as we continue this season here, right?
Well, again, another wrinkle just thrown into his life is he and his wife just had their first child last week. So that was kind of the storyline coming into it. He sleeping in the hospital chair last week. Is he going to be prepared for this championship? How much practice time has he gotten? This is obviously a huge life change. We thought that was going to be the hardest thing for him to overcome. So that's still, kind of a story going on in his life. Is it, how is newfound fatherhood going to affect your play into the rest of the season? But I would expect, like we said, we saw a blip in the radar on Saturday. It's literally his first over par round of the season. It's absolutely incredible what he's produced so far. He has the same amount of days. This was a tweet that was going around from Kyle Porter, same amount of days in jail as he has over par rounds in 2024. It's people get carried away when people say this in the golf world. And if you listen carefully, he's the best player we've seen since Tiger. And that's not comparing him to Tiger. It's just like, since Tiger did what he did, Scottie's been the best to come along since then, right? And it's been a really lengthy, sustained era of really, really good golf. It's hard. You can't really call it dominance because kind of the extra level of winning has only hit this season, but he's figured out his putting. He won his second major championship. Now the question is just going to be, weirdly enough, he has not won in a calendar year past the month of April. All of his wins in his career so far have come between the months of February and April. I don't have any rationale or reasoning as to why that might be, but that's an interesting kind of storyline as we get into the final 2 major championships of the season.
Yeah, as you get worn out, he just can't close on Sundays whenever it's late in the season. We shall see. He's top 5 in everything, even whenever he's not. Yeah. He's top 3 whenever he's not. He is. And they were talking about him, being, I believe AJ Hawk said, this guy's a wet blanket at the beginning of this entire thing. I think.
I don't know.
That's what you said. I
think I always said he's too good of a guy. He seems like too good of a human.
Too nice of a, oh, I'm sorry. That was probably I forget somebody.
I've called other people wet blankets. Yeah, I have called them.
1,000% that was me. But then he won the Masters, and he was so good at golf that I put that away. He's so good at golf. It's entertaining.
Too.
And his beard is good. Yeah.
The beard helps.
He doesn't need to talk. Like, even though his press conference was entertaining after he goes to jail. Like, he did a good press conference after he went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he thanked the cops. Super smart. We're in the middle of a situation here. The way he handled that. And then also was like a little bit, I thought I did everything I was told to do. And then, I'm stretching in a jail cell.
Yeah, got a cop diving on top of my hood.
Yeah, that's what I'm. And obviously, we appreciate officers a lot and cops and everything like that. Like, every day, you potentially don't come home. Like, very appreciative. But there is some situations, and obviously the world has seen them, where some cops just potentially, not all cops, but some cops act like assholes. Sometimes because they have a little bit of power. I'm not saying that this is the particular situation, but we can't see it because there's no body cam footage.
Exactly.
So we're not able to really see it. But we have Jeff Darlington's thing, where Jeff Darlington was literally sitting right there, and he seemingly says that there was a lot of confusion because of the devastating accident that happened down the road, and it was raining and dark. You would just think there'd be a little bit of awareness that's like, yeah, this guy maybe is allowed to go somewhere. I don't know. It's all wild. It's a wild thing. And then for Scottie to be able to handle it, it's just like even more reaffirmed to me, this guy's the one. Like, in between the years, this guy is the one. And I'm very thankful that he's in the middle of his run.